Jump right in that Celeste review, huh?
All right.
All right. So Celeste starts off. You're a little girl. You play as Madeline. Madeline is trying to climb the mountain Celeste. The first level is a little prologue level. It teaches you the controls, and then you meet your first side character in the game. You meet the old lady. What were your thoughts when you met the old lady, and did you have any conspiracy theories when you first met her?
I thought she was the mountain when I first met her. I thought she was part of it. The way she was talking about the mountain, like being a being. I thought she was maybe that vessel for the mountain to talk through.
Right.
At first. And I also liked the voices because there is no actual words.
Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, they have this really cute kind of like Peanuts sort of like
But way better.
way of talking. It's really adorable.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice. I thought she was an older version of Madeline.
Oh, that's interesting.
For some reason, and that Madeline kind of like has this cycle of climbing the mountain. But I'm paranoid, so who knows? So you meet the old lady, and she tells you, like you're gonna change. The mountain will change you when you climb the mountain, and then you get thrown into your first like full level, and then you meet your second side character named Theo.
Before we get there,
Okay.
those controls though,
Them controls
it's a
are
little bit different than a normal platformer.
Yeah, there's a jump button, there's a dash button. The controls are extremely tight. I think we both agree that this is probably the first platformer we've played where we would switch from the D-pad controlling it in the jumping portions and switch to the analog stick when it came to the flying sections.
Very true. I switched quite a bit. More than just that. Sometimes I just had a hard time even going just straight right. I'd hold down the right on the analog stick, like if I had a zip somewhere, and it wouldn't do exactly what I wanted it to, so I'd have to go to the D-pad for that. I would switch constantly, honestly, and I enjoyed it, though.
I enjoyed that challenge that you would have to switch from D-pad to analog, and just the game was extremely challenging, but in a really fun, satisfying way. So the first level, you're kind of just climbing the mountain. You meet Theo. Theo is this bearded camper bro. He likes taking selfies with you, and the selfies kind of give you this feeling of like friendship with him, and the climb feels like that you're not doing it by yourself. There's some side characters there that are like adding some flavor to the journey, and they don't serve as support so much as they serve as kind of like motivation that you hope you see them again and you want to climb higher up to see them again.
Theo is actually more like a representation of Madeline than the old lady, too, because Theo's there to try and figure out something about himself as well.
Yes.
Just like Madeline is.
Yeah, I agree.
Which was nice, but he's got a different aspect. Whereas it seems like Theo's there just to get answers, whereas Madeline is trying to find herself.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you get to the next level where it's nighttime. You decide to camp out for a little bit, and you run into the antagonist of the game, Dark Madeline. Dark Madeline has red eyes and purple hair, yeah, and she tries to fuck your shit up a couple times throughout the game. How did you feel about Purple Madeline and the boss fight that you have with her at the end of the second level?
It was definitely very intense. It threw you right into difficult situations. This game does not give you a lot of time to adjust, which I enjoyed as a big gamer. I like a challenge. I don't want to be pigeonholed too long in a game.
Yeah,
before it gets hard.
Definitely.
And it was a very cool aspect, and it left you kind of on a cliffhanger, wondering what was next with you and this character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was great. I think every great antagonist is sort of a mirror of the protagonist, where she is everything that the main character is not. And Dark Madeline perfectly encapsulates this. And you also have the sense of mystery, like, well, why is the mountain making me fight a dark version of myself? So it's really interesting, and you find out more as we go on. So the next level, we're going to meet another side character. We're going to meet Mr. Oshiro. Oshiro runs a haunted hotel that you have to help clean up, and lots more nightmarish platforming scenarios ensue. How did you feel about Mr. Oshiro?
You knew there was something wrong from the get with him.
Yeah, he definitely did.
He had anxiety, didn't want to let you leave the hotel, even though you were asking to stay there. He was trying to impress you so you wouldn't go anywhere. Anytime she made a negative comment, Madeline made a negative comment about the hotel, he took it personally.
Right.
Very, very well to heart. And you could definitely tell that the hotel had been closed for a while and wasn't really open.
Yeah, it feels like with Oshiro that so the concept of a ghost is that they have unfinished business, right? And so Mr. Oshiro feels like his unfinished business is he never got to clean and open up the hotel like he wanted it. And that was his unfinished business. So as Madeline, you kind of help him do that and make him find peace. He doesn't really disappear. He stays with you, actually, the whole game. You never see him again after the hotel until the ending. But once you help him clean up, it feels like, like you did a nice thing. You did a good thing. And then the plot moves forward to the next level.
Basically, you try to leave because you need to carry on with what you're doing, climbing the mountain, and he feels insulted like you're not staying.
Then you have to fight him.
Even though you just cleaned his whole hotel for him. And he hulks.
Yeah, he hulks up and you got to fight him, and he's pretty spooky. He's a good time. I think it was a fun fight. He just likes to chase you around and stuff like that. And then we get to the next portion of the game, which is
It felt very Mario with like Boo following him.
Yes, yeah, it definitely felt like Boo and like the big haunted houses. It was very reminiscent of that, and like Super Mario World for Super Nintendo. It was a good time. And then we get to the win level, as I like to call it, the level of pain, because your thumb is constantly holding down the right on the D-pad, and so your thumb is screaming. How did you find the win level? Didn't you say this was like your favorite level?
I wouldn't say it was my favorite, but it was definitely one of the more enjoyable ones. I didn't have as much trouble with that one as I think you did, but you had a lot better time flying later on than I did.
Yeah, I definitely had a hard time with the win level for sure.
Yeah, I've played some platformers with very similar elements to this, where 1 second you're being forced one direction and you have to readjust and find ledges to hold on for a second. So I was kind of used to that, and I adapted well to that one.
Nice. Okay, so after the win level, let's see, if memory serves correctly, this has been a few
Dark Tower.
few weeks to play this. Yeah, so you have the Dark Tower. Oh, it was like a crystal temple, right?
Yeah, but it's called the Dark Tower, though.
Okay, yeah, you go to the Dark Tower. A lot of switches, a lot of puzzle solving going on over here. I found this level to be a little bit forgettable, I think, because you already had a dark level in the second level where you're teleporting or you're dashing through like these like galaxy squares. This level was it was interesting, but I felt like it was kind of forgettable.
I wouldn't say it was forgettable for me, but I was a little disappointed with it. Like there's a lot of parts where you're in the dark. You're actually in the dark, which you really weren't in the second level. It was just you could tell it was dark in the second level. And I would jump through these candles to light them up, and I kept waiting. I was searching and wasted a lot of time trying to jump through every candle I could find, thinking something was going to happen from that, whether it be open up the next door or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And they led to nothing.
Yeah, I was right there with you. I think I hit like all the torches, and I was hoping some secret would open up, and maybe it does, and maybe we just missed it. But I don't know. I was waiting for something that kind of like a Legend of Zelda, like
Yep.
happen.
Very similar.